Today on 10-Minute IT Gems, we're joined by Miles Toolin, who is the Enterprise Solutions Lead for APAC at Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye is a leading SaaS company that is spearheading the global personalized marketing revolution through its best-in-class loyalty and promotions platform, Air. Miles joins us today to tell us more about Eagle Eye and what they're doing in the APAC region. Thank you for coming along, Miles, and welcome to the Jam.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me, mate. Really excited to be here and talk through Eagle Eye for the next 20, 30 minutes. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. We'll just jump straight into it. For a business that hasn't worked with Eagle Eye before, what are your key products and offerings?
That's a great question, Tom. So thanks for asking, mate. Look, if I was to label our core product offerings, I'd probably say our core product offerings are around the ability to help our customers shape their loyalty and personalization strategies at scale. So I think the key there is the scale, and based on some of the customers that you can view on our website, we work with some of the largest retailers, and we're powered by the Google Cloud, which allows that scale to happen as well. We do this also by enabling it with a SaaS-based framework, and then we have APIs that sit under it. And then what that allows us to do is basically just slot directly into your enterprise architecture or your architecture, and just start to get everything moving. I just want to call out one of the key takeaways from last year. So in terms of growth, we actually adjudicate over 350 million baskets every month, and it saw us have a 56% year-on-year growth for that year in terms of the amount of baskets that we're adjudicating as well.
That's incredibly impressive. That's good to hear. Now, what are the most recent improvements or innovations in Eagle Eye's offerings?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thanks, Tom. So globally, I think our approach as well is working with our customers, road mapping, things like that. But some of the key improvements that I'll call out and we can talk about, so basically most of our current releases and I think our trends are around focusing decisioning capabilities. And I talk about, when I say decisioning, think about a trigger and an action, so on if or things like that. And the reason we're looking and deepening this is on top of personalization, this allows us to go down to really, really, really hyper one-to-one personalization. On top of that, we've been looking at our, building out and making our partner network much more robust. And with that, we've been looking at CDP integrations and working with some of the largest CDP vendors in the world around the globe. And then what I'll do is I might just rattle off a couple of key little features that we've also brought out in the last 6 to 12 months. So as well as the above, and in terms of what we're, improved, we deploy, new features every quarter, but we've deployed 30 in the last 6 months. And a lot of those address things like challenges faced by our customers around the addition of new offer types. So, when working with loyalty strategists, they want a new offer type because obviously it's their use case to their business. So we've made it much more easier for our customers to come and basically build out those new offer types. More flexibility around unique offer types. Sorry, I've just covered that one. Security features, such as supporting global restrictions, because obviously security and global restrictions are quite high on everyone's radar at the moment. We've also enabled point refunds during returns, which is, a big sticking point for some customers. We've also enabled a new feature that it's an e-commerce, basically multi-stage fulfillment capability, and it limits fraudulent transactions. So, a lot of things around security, fraud, things like that, and this is working with our customers. In terms of some key stats, Tom, we've also reduced our API response times in the year by 46%. So now our average response time sits at 250 milliseconds. So if you think about adjudicating 350 million baskets a month, but doing that 250 milliseconds every time that happens, it's extremely scalable and robust. So.
That's really impressive. Now, what trends are your product development teams laser focused on next?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Without giving too much away, but our teams are really focused on, I think, going back to what I said earlier around customer-centric use cases. But what we find is, we take our customers' roadmaps, we work closely with them, and then obviously the trends in the market. But some of the ones I'll call out is basically how we are creating loyalty and marketing in the moment, at scale, utilizing AI. So there's a couple of little key snippets for you, but essentially think about if I'm a shopper at a grocery store, I could walk up, pick something up off the shelf, and in the moment, say I'm shopping with my phone, I could be serviced something in that moment. And we're working with a couple of our bigger partners and things like that. And yeah, there's some of the trends that our team are focused on at the moment.
I was going to ask you about AI, so you've beat me to it a little bit there. Well, you also touched on there as well. How many partners does Eagle Eye work with?
That's a really good question. I actually don't know how many we have off the top of my head, but we're a Google partner, so we work with obviously Google on a global scale. And we actually have a head of global partnerships, Matthew Smallpage, which maybe if you get on for an interview to talk about partnerships, he would know the exact number. But we definitely have quite a large partner network at the moment across the globe.
Of course. Now, what infrastructure or resources does Eagle Eye have in the APAC market?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So given that we have, some of the largest customers in the APAC region, we obviously build support teams and resource around those customers on a need basis, essentially. But we have local resource, we have project services, support, sales, solution consulting, all the general things that come with, a SaaS vendor in the region. And then we also have a data center locally as well, which is really good for our customers down here. So I really want to call that out. And obviously sitting with Google Cloud, and we work with them as well quite closely.
Now, I guess one last question to finish off. If an enterprise end user wanted to engage with Eagle Eye, what's the best way for them to go about doing that?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I think the website's probably the best place to go. First point of call. Alternatively, if they're already an existing Google customer, they could hit the Google Marketplace as well directly. So we're on the Google Marketplace. And as always, Tom, my DMs are open on all the different channels, LinkedIn, however you guys want to hit me, that's fine. But yeah, that's the best way.
So, well, it has been a pleasure having you on the Jam, Miles, and learning more about Eagle Eye and what you guys are doing in the region. We look forward to hearing more from Eagle Eye very soon.
Thanks so much, Tom. Really appreciate your time, mate.